This woman is called Monday. You can only go out on Mondays if she is to survive. She must share an identity with her sextuplets because in the future, human genes have mutated. Many give birth to twins or even multiple births. In order not to waste food, the Birth Control Commission announced that each family could only raise one child, and any extra will be put in the freezer, waiting for the food crisis to pass, and then they would be released. On the face of it, this works, but in reality, by that time their parents would be long gone. The children who are left behind are given a smart bracelet so that the Census Bureau could check their identity in order to hide from the Bureau's killers. These identical septuplet sisters, they lived underground with their grandfather for 30 years. They used the same identity every time they went out to make it easier to tell them apart. Grandpa gave the sisters names from Monday to Sunday. Tuesday is Tuesday when they go out, in order of their names. The 7 sisters took turns going out to study and work. I must say that Saturdays and Sundays were a great time. In order for the 7 sisters to learn more about society, Grandpa made them come home every time they went out. They had to share their knowledge and experiences with their sisters so that the 7 sisters could live with the same identity. As time went on, Grandpa passed away due to illness, but the 7 sisters were obedient. They continued to live in the same way as before. I thought this would last forever. But one day, Monday went out and never came back. To find the missing Monday, Tuesday dressed up as her and went out of the house, but not long after she left the house. But then this woman is called Tuesday, and she can only go out on Tuesdays because her name is Tuesday. She went out for no other reason to find her missing sister, Monday. But as soon as she arrived at her sister's office, she found Roy staring at her with an eerie expression on his face. Realizing something was wrong, she rushed home, but as soon as she walked out the door, she was stopped by someone from the Family Planning Commission. She was then taken away by force. When she arrived at the birth control office, Dr. Carmen slowly approached her. It turns out that she already knew the secret of the 7 sisters. She ranted about how much food they had wasted over the years. Just as Tuesday tried to explain something, Dr. Carmen ordered her men to gouge out her left eye. At that moment, the 5 sisters at home received an alarm. Just as they tried to take a closer look, the killers had used Tuesday's left eye to open the security door to the house. The sisters were forced to come out. As a fierce fight broke out, the killers all unfortunately fell to the ground and died. But unfortunately, the youngest, Tuesday, was accidentally shot and killed. Realizing that the secret room had now been discovered, the 4 remaining sisters no longer choose to hold back. They believe they must take the initiative if they are to survive. It's Wednesday's turn to go out. She immediately found Roy from her elder sister's company. She thought Roy had turned them in. As Roy was explaining, he was suddenly shot by a sniper from the shadows. Wednesday realized that something was wrong. He was so scared he ran away, but the killer was already at the door. I thought Wednesday was going to die too, but Wednesday had been trained in martial arts. He grabbed his gun and took out the killers with ease, but by now the killers downstairs had set up a net. But the 3 sisters at home were helping her escape from a distance. At this very moment of crisis, there was a sudden knock at the door. To find out who was at the door, the 3 sisters immediately arranged Saturday, dressed in a sexy outfit, to go out to meet her. But as soon as Saturday opened the door, she was grabbed by the neck by a man. It was only then that she realized this man was the boyfriend of one of the sisters. That's when Saturday had an idea. She found an excuse to sneak into the room in order to find out which of the sisters was in love. The 2 sisters persuaded Saturday to follow the man to his house to look for clues. On the other hand, Wednesday, who was on the run from a killer, is in more trouble. The woman opened the rooftop door and froze straight away because in front of her was a building 10 meters apart. She didn't have time to think. She jumped with a sprint, but to her surprise, the killer appeared in front of her. Seeing her 3rd sister die in front of her eyes, the 2 sisters were devastated. But now was not the time to grieve. They had to save their elder sister as soon as possible. After a lot of hard work, they managed to hack into the computer of the Family Planning Commission. They found the kidnapped sister on the CCTV. On the other side, Saturday also found out a secret. The man's name was Jack, who worked at the commission, and that he was Monday's boyfriend. But no sooner had she finished telling the sisters than the killer shot her dead. The 2 sisters are also attacked by the killer. Friday realized something was wrong. She immediately tells Thursday to get out of the building and she'll take up the rear. But no sooner had Thursday stepped out of the building, Friday flicked the switch. He chose to die with the killer. On the other hand, Jack from the planning commission saw the woman being blown up in front of him. He thought it was his girlfriend who had been blown up. As he was getting into his car, Thursday also took the opportunity to follow him. Jack learned of the tragedy of the 7 sisters. He was devastated, and that's when he decided to help her save her big sister. Then Jack from the Family Planning Commission, pushing Thursday, disguised as a corpse, into the freezer, only to discover that it wasn't a freezer at all. It's an incinerator. If you put it in there, you'll be burnt to death by the fire. Thursday saw this and immediately used his bracelet. The moment was recorded quietly. Then the 2 of them killed the staff when they weren't expecting them. Just as they opened the chamber to rescue Monday, Tuesday appeared in the chamber. Little did they know that Monday was in Dr. Carmen's room. It turns out that Monday had had enough of hiding underground, so he made a deal with Dr. Cartman that he would betray the other sisters so that he could keep his identity to himself. Monday thought that everything had been planned planned perfectly. But then Thursday walked in and killed Monday. Thursday then disguised himself as Monday. The video of the freezer burning was released to the public. Once the footage was released, everyone in the room was stunned and dumbfounded. By the end of the story, Dr. Carmen's reputation was finally destroyed. The Family Planning Commission abolishes the program once and for all. In the days to come, every new baby born is treated equally. This film shows us that we are all born as human beings. We all deserve to be treated equally by the world.